Hello. So in this video, I'll be doing a review for the Parsons pre-college program. I wanted to create this review as I had a pretty difficult time finding any information about this online. And this video may be a bit long, so I will include the timestamp in the description below, so you can skip to any sections you like. What program did I attend? I attended the pre-college course for Parsons School of Design, and the specific course that I took is Inside Fashion Design, Becoming a Designer for the 21st Century. I wanted to be clear that I'm not really sure whether they'll keep this course available next year though. This program is a bit different from the traditional kind of pre-college courses. It's an asynchronous online course, which basically implies that all the materials are pre-filmed and will be given when your pre-college course starts. For this course, we are given a guideline saying how many assignments we must complete in order to get a certificate. And yes, this course does contain a certificate, and we also have our mentors who will email us to check in, or we can email them if we have any issues or concerns. However, this program is pretty expensive, and if you want to attend some of the live sessions, it will cost you even more. What is the course like? So the course is essentially a split into modules, where overall it's a guide for high school students into the real-world fashion design process. This course does not require any fundamental knowledge for fashion design or design in general, and most of the terminology we use in class will be explained. If not, you can just Google it. In the course, they taught us about different research methodologies, designing process, and also some demonstrations. Although Parsons has a campus both located in New York City and Paris, the course mainly focuses on how Paris operates as a fashion capital. Technically, you can look at their website for more information, which I will link in the description below as well for easy access. What are some things I wish I knew before the program? 1. Do not procrastinate. Oh my god, I regret this so much. For some context, my course starts on July 10th, and I remember checking the Parsons website, and it said it takes around 30 hours to complete. Well, do not trust it. I thought I would be able to complete it within 1 week, so I basically didn't touch the course at all until the second Monday, basically the last week until it's due. First and foremost, there's a few issues with that. There is actually an available meeting for you to meet with your mentors on Sunday/Saturday, depending on your time zone, and you should take that opportunity. However, I couldn't attend because I didn't start anything. I honestly don't even believe if anyone complete the course within 30 hours, and for me, it probably even took more than 60. So, especially if you're a beginner like me in fashion design, then I don't really think it's an accurate description of how much time it will take you, because it took me a lot of time to just do research. Besides that, they also provide you with a lot of external resources, which includes documentary, websites you should visit, and I don't think they've taken that into account of the time, because some of the documentary takes around 1 hour to complete. I mean, you don't have to watch it, but it's the best if you do, so. If you really think you can complete it within 30 hours, it probably implies you have to rush through it without any time to process or to digest the materials. So, my biggest suggestion to y'all is to start when the course starts. Give yourself some time to process information to digest it, otherwise this course will feel like a burden to attend, which isn't the purpose of the course. Another thing is that keep in mind that you may want to purchase extra things during the course, and that will take a few days to arrive. I had to buy extra materials such as fabric during the course, and thankfully it did arrive before the course ended. Parsons will send you an email about the ideal schedule to complete which module, and I strongly recommend to follow it. If not, be faster. However, if you already started your course 1 week late, like I did, don't panic. The worst thing is worrying and end up not doing any of it. You need to complete all of your assignments in order to receive the certificate. So if you're running out of time, skip the discussion boards and come back to it later if you have time. If you can't finish it, then you're automatically granted 1 extra week to complete it for extension. And I was so grateful that I have that time, as I literally still submitted 10 seconds before the course shut down, which is not a good thing. Like, procrastination to the max. You see what summer does to me. Second, reach out to your mentors as soon as possible when you have an issue. If you have any questions or concerns, don't be afraid to reach out to your mentors. I know that some of us may be unfamiliar with writing emails, which is a tip that you can search up online for some examples. And I highly recommend you to reach out as soon as possible when you came across a problem, because keep in mind that your mentors may take a day or two to reply. 3. Buy extra fabric. and briefly do some research before you purchase it. You will need fabric. Get at least 2 to 3 meters of fabric in total, and I would recommend getting even more. Around 5 to 6 will be the best. I was originally thinking, oh yeah, I don't want to waste my money in fabric, and ended up getting not enough. Now thinking back, I should have got more than I thought, and in the middle of the course, you don't want to just be stressing out that your materials may not arrive before your course ends. So throughout the course, the professors will teach you about the materials and their importance, their effects on draping, etc., which if you're taking the course, I'll leave you to that. But they don't really give you the list of the most popular material. So I would just recommend you to do some research about the fabric that you want to use. And also, the professors did recommend using flowy, lightweight material for draping, which then you can consider using chiffon or muslin. I would suggest not getting anything too extravagant or expensive because the course will literally tell you to cut it up randomly. And if you buy expensive and luxurious fabric, then your wallet will most likely hurt. Also, the email did say that you can use bed sheets, but unless you're okay with slicing them up, I wouldn't recommend it. Again, take a look at a variety of fabrics, learn about the history, the meaning behind them. 4. The experience of buying a fabric online and in-store is very different. Well, for those who don't know yet, if you know this, then you can skip it. Essentially, where I am right now, it's not very convenient to go to any shop in person, so I had to turn to online shopping when I had to purchase fabric.
Bruh.
However, I realized that the experience of going to a fabric store in person versus online is so different. Sometimes you need to physically see it, maybe how it reflects the light, and also maybe you have to even feel how it touches on the skin, etc. Also, the fabric store usually offers a way bigger collection, and it's truly a place where you can go in with one idea and come up with so much more. For that reason, I can't really say the same thing for online shopping. And if you have restrictions like I did, don't worry, because I basically survived the course fully online. And if you're in quarantine or something, then maybe you can search online for some vlogs of fabric shopping, which there are a few on YouTube. 5. Consider buying a mannequin. I swear I wish I knew this sooner. When I heard about this course that will teach you about draping, I was really concerned if you need a mannequin. Okay, it's not a requirement, so you can technically drape on your family, your friends as a model. However, it's much more efficient to be able to stab pins in your mannequin and perhaps leave it there overnight if you couldn't finish it at like 12 a.m. If you're thinking like, well, I can just drape on myself, right? Then let me tell you, I tried that, and it's such an obnoxious experience trying to tape the fabric together, and especially when you're trying to move around so much. Also, the course has an assignment to submit a live sketch, essentially meaning that you have to draw it from life instead from a photo. So unless your siblings or your family friends are okay with standing there for like 30 minutes, I highly suggest you to just get a mannequin. Also, if you want to cheat around the system, I suggest you to not, because it's truly a different experience drawing it from life than looking at it from a two-dimensional surface like a photo. If you think that you might not be using the mannequin in the future, or think it's a bit out of your budget, then look at those options where it says return within 7 days with like no reasons or something. And then that's what I initially wanted to do, but I ended up keeping the mannequin because I thought it was really useful. I would say if you want to return it, then purchase it closer to the date when your course starts instead, because by then it's a better chance that you'll be able to return it before the day expires. 6. Check your feedback even after your course is done. I only received my feedback a day after my submission was done, and apparently there's a few errors here and there, so I had to re-upload it. Thankfully, I was able to check it as I was writing the script for the video, and if I didn't, then I probably didn't know that there is an issue and might just miss the chance of getting the certificate, which will be such a bummer. 7. Do not throw away your work after the course is done. Look, due to my errors in submission, I have to dig out all of my work again to find some of the pieces, and thankfully I didn't throw any of them away, so I didn't have to do it again. If you really don't have any space to save it, I'll highly recommend taking a picture or scanning it and saving it digitally instead. 8. Sewing machines are not required. You don't even have to sew in this course, so the most sewing that you might do is if you decide to keep your draping in shape, which then you'll need to hand sew instead. So no, you'll not be using a sewing machine. Some examples of my work. Just a disclaimer, I don't really know how well I did yet because the full feedback isn't given. But then again, as an asynchronous course, it's really difficult to see where everyone else is up to. Also keep in mind that I was rushing through the course, which is not a good example. So I'm sure if you guys took your time, it would be much better. So for some context, I primarily focus on my design and the idea of cultural identity. This is my personal statement, my research. Design a print, draping assignment, drawing on live illustration of 10 pieces of collection you have designed. Here are some of the other works that I have submitted for the discussion board. So how did I benefit from this course? Personally, I really enjoyed this course and I don't regret anything. As a beginner to the concept of fashion, I think the course served me an amazing guide and motivation to learn more about it. Without the course motivation, then I'd probably procrastinate until who knows when. I definitely gained a lot of insights into the process of designing and also the experience of draping, cutting fabric, designing a concept, and ultimately designing a collection. Some of the disappointments that I have. One thing I was expecting a bit more from is the discussion. Since the discussion board is basically optional, a lot of people just skip it. So it's really hard to see where everyone else is on and if you're on the same page. And the discussion board only becomes less and less interactive as the course progresses. I also wish that we had more opportunities to check in with our mentors in person, as in online in some kind of meeting instead of email, because we only had one opportunity throughout the 2-week course. So essentially, if you skip that one or if you missed it, then there's just no more opportunity for you to see them ever again. Would I recommend this course? And who will I recommend it to? I think it's difficult to say if I recommend one course to everyone because, as you all know, nothing is suitable for everyone. Keep in mind, this course is expensive. I would say it is. And personally, I don't really regret taking this course. And the fee of this pre-college program is within my budget. So I'm really grateful to have this opportunity and also have this budget to sign up for it. I said personally, because saying something is worth it is very subjective, and I think I gained a lot of knowledge value out of it. That's why I believe that it was worth it for me. I also heard from some other my peers who attended UAL summer course and another attended Columbia pre-college. I think it's very evident to say that you get what you pay for, as in resources and also the time. And keep in mind that this course is pretty long, and compared to some other courses may have less sessions. So I found it generally the price you pay will reflect into the amount of resources they provide you, but don't quote me on that. I'll recommend it to people who, 1, has the budget. The course is expensive. There is an option to apply for financial aid after your application is due and if you're admitted into the course. Keep in mind, pre-colleges are basically made for school to profit, so if you have the money to spend, then you can consider. 2, you're a beginner in fashion industry. I think the main reason why it's so suitable for me is because I was a beginner, and if you already got some kind of internship in fashion design and had the experience and insights into modern fashion industry, then this course probably won't be the best for you. The course focuses mainly on luxurious brands, and most of them are French brands. Literally, they use French vocabulary sometimes, and I feel like I'm learning French. So the brands we focused on the most is Louis Vuitton, LV, and we also touched on some other brands which you can explore as well. We didn't really talk about trends such as fast fashion and how it cooperates with that, or talk about how fashion and business are related, but if you're interested in that kind of sector, I believe that Parsons offer another course for that. 3, if you're not really sure if you like fashion. My main rationale for attending fashion pre-college is because I'm actually unsure if I wanted to pursue fashion in the future as a possible career path. I think a lot of the time as a high school student, we fascinate a lot of things that we could do and the possibilities and the things that we might regret in the future. I think I've developed more passion for this fashion kind of stuff after attending the pre-college, and I do see myself doing this as a side hobby in the future. 4, have some genuine interest in this subject. I would like to stress to not do this for the certificate, because the point of this course is that you should learn and have passion for it. Also, just getting a certificate doesn't really automatically grant you into a certain school, or even grant you into Parsons itself. The point of the certificate is as a motivation and as a way for a university to recognize they have completed some kind of course related to your major, for example. It's definitely not that important. Plus, talking to a few alumni, they just say summer camps or pre-college isn't that impressive, and they think it's just a way to say that you're rich, which is partially true because for these kind of courses, you basically pay your way in. So doing it for the sake of learning, experience, fun, and passion. I don't think this type of pre-college really matters in the administration process again, but if you can show how the program has influenced you or led you to interact more in this field that you're passionate about, then that could have some leverage in your app. All in all, I'm just saying that the presence of this program by itself in your activities section most likely won't matter. Also, if you have any more questions regarding this program, feel free to leave it in the comment section down below and I'll try my best to reply to you as soon as possible.